Luis Arias out of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And we got Kid with the Circle of Discipline. They go way back. Way back like a throwback.
I fought there when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Man, we're talking in the early days with headgear and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when Milwaukee came through, they knew they was gonna scrap. Every time Milwaukee came through, we knew it was gonna be a box.
Well, tell us about that little Milwaukee-Minneapolis rivalry. What do we got going on there?
Well, we were in the same region, so anytime if you were a good boxer in this region, we were gonna see each other. So we always, had fighters that fighting our guys. It was gym's a gym. So yeah, like
but once they went to the Nationals, they was all on the same team.
We were on the same team. Yeah. So me and Jamal only fought when we were kids, but when we were the men's division, we were in different weight classes. Me and Javante Starks fought once when we were younger too, but once we went to the Nationals, we were in different weight classes. So we ended up, we fought each other, but we ended up being more roommates and friends than anything,
So coming back to Minneapolis, it's become basically a second home to you. I mean, you have fought at the Armory how many times now? What does this make?
I've actually never fought at the Armory, but I fought in Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, sorry.
Multiple times.
The Circle?
Yeah, I fought at the Circle.
Fought at the Circle, okay.
There was an Indian reservation in...
Up Hinckley, probably? Up at
I don't know. It was one of those Indian reservations. We fought the JOs there, so... I fought in Minnesota. So, like I said, Region 6, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin. So anybody in that fighting, that if you fought and you know how to fight, we know each other.
So then you know that this is actually the only time of year you should probably visit this state. In this part of the country.
100%.
You feel
Soon it gets cold.
Come up in like January.
That's why I was glad it was a summer fight here.
I love it when we bring folks from the islands and stuff, and from Miami, and they come out to fight in February or something.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of this man as an amateur? Did you think that he was going to make it this far?
He's always a standout. He's one of the people. He's one of the people you look at the sheet, look for his name. Like it's going to be a scrap. Always been a standout as an amateur. Him, Jamal, Javante, like he said, like there's certain names you see on there, and you know, like okay, these basically the ones they have to beat if you're trying to get past. Probably a lot of good fighters that didn't get past the region because they had to go against Cooper. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying he ended a lot of professional dreams before they started here. Up in Region 6. Well, I think you're just proving that upper Midwestern fighters, we got talent here. And it's the work ethic. And it's probably maybe a little bit of football rivalry based, maybe. Maybe a little Green Bay Packer, Minnesota Vikings. I don't know. Maybe that's where the original animosity comes from.
It's the same way that people lost their money with Hurd. It's all about timing in boxing. If you gotta just stay away from the names, stay away from the records, and sit down there and look at the details. In terms of the details, there's a lot of things that's in Lubin's disadvantage that doesn't work against me. He doesn't do good with fighters who throw back at him. He doesn't do good with fighters who are on him, and he doesn't get good with fighters who catch him. I'm a relentless fighter. Regardless of my record, I've took some bad fights and I took some good fights, but I've competed against the best since I was a child. I've seen the last bell since I was a child. The last time I've ever been stopped was when I was only 8 years old. Other than that, I've seen the final bell of every single fight. We're talking about 300-400 fights of everybody. He hasn't. He's been hurt. He's coming off a beating. Regardless of my record or what I did or who I lost to and who I beat, he's coming off a very bad fight, a very bad loss. So he has some confidence he gotta try to build in there. He's trying to build confidence also of a ruthless fighter who doesn't care. I fight you for the right money. I fight anybody for the right money. I fought Danny Jacobs after he fought Triple G. I was only 17-0. So I think the dog in me and his bad losses is going to be a bad match once we get in there, because I'm going to touch him. At one point in the fight, we're going to have to sit there and throw with each other. There's only so much that you can move around, and I think that's when I'm going to catch him, and I'm going to hurt him. So we're going to find out on Saturday.
So are you having your people confirm that it was actually bad weather that stopped him from being in this press conference, or do you think it was just fear?
I think, he got beat up pretty bad his last fight. There was so what happened yesterday? He couldn't get. I got here yesterday, like evening, but that's up to him. At the end of the day, we gonna have to. When that bell rings, if he want that check, he gonna have to show up. So I'm ready. I'm here. The weight's great, and like I said, I had a great training camp, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, last question. If you had to say one thing, just choose one thing that's going to be the difference to get you the W on Saturday night, what is it? The one thing?
Just the grit and the dog in me, you know, like we're gonna catch each other. I've been hurt, he's been hurt, and we both reacted differently when we got hurt. So I think that's gonna be the difference in this fight, is who's gonna be able to take it. And like I said, I've seen the last bell out of all my fights, so we're just gonna have to find out on Saturday.
Luis Arias versus Erickson Lubin, Saturday night at the Armory here in downtown Minneapolis. If you can't be here, check it out on Showtime. Check this fight out. Thank you, Top Fight.
We're gonna steal the show.
All right, man.